There was 1,000 men he could kill with a jawbone, but it was one woman, old Delilah. No, for real. How can you be, how can it really work this time? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's shame on me.
I took some losses they never would know. Took the long route they had cut me before. We was down bad talking broken and broke. Now I'm dealing hoping it's all for the low. Get HWL, get your dough back. Get HWL, get your dough back. Ain't selling no mid, it's a whole pack. And young and I give you the whole pack. Get HWL, get your dough back. Get HWL, get your dough back. Ain't selling no mid, it's a whole pack. And young and I give you the whole pack for real.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to HWL. I hope your day is getting off to a great start. As always, it's Monday, so we never miss a Monday in the gym, and we attack Mondays, man. Monday's the best day of the week. Let's be positive about it. All right, so y'all, man, welcome back to all our new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the podcast. If you've been showing love, been reposting, sharing, I appreciate you. We always love the engagement, so thank you so much. So listen, y'all, this week, our high, I want to talk about some good things. It's about toxicity, knowing when to quit a relationship, knowing when to walk out, and understanding that if you don't walk out, if you don't choose yourself, it could lead to, honestly, death. It could lead to bad health. It could lead to depression, all types of things that we don't want. And so today I'm going to attach biblical reference to what I'm talking about, just so you can kind of understand how deep it really goes. So today we're reading out of Judges. All right. So specifically, we're talking about Samson today. And Samson's piece of Judges is from 13 to 16. We'll be reading from Judges 16, 4 through 6 as well too. So New Living Translation. I don't know what you read, but I read from NLT. It's much easier for me to understand. All right, so let's get into it. So real quick, before I go there though, I want you to know who Samson was and just a little bit fun facts about him. So Samson was an Israelite judge. He was renowned for God-given superhuman strength. Like if you got locks or if you got hair now, you might hear some of your homies say like, it's strength in my hair. I'm not cutting my locks. That's my power. That comes from Samson. He was the original person in the Bible who got strength through his hair. All right. So he was a lifelong Nazirite, forbidden to cut his hair. He was forbidden. Okay. He performed legendary feats, including slaying a lion with bare hands and killing 1,000 men with a jawbone. He was like that. Though he often struggled with pride, revenge, and forbidden relationships, right? So we just talked about, he had this amazing amount of strength, all right? The God-given strength, superhuman strength, right? But at the same time, he still dealt with a lot of toxic traits. A lot of things we all deal with. Like, I mean, none of these things are crazy. Pride, revenge, man, I don't know how many times people have done something to me and like, I wanted to get my lick back bad. So, we all got those things. And then we all, now I'm not going to say we all, I need to stop saying that. Some of us, a lot of us possibly have also been in relationships that just did not serve us. And if we keeping it a band, it didn't serve the other person either. You could be the toxic one in the relationship. Like I'm right now, I'm not going to just think like, hey, just because I'm talking to you, just because you subscribe to me or just because you watch me, that you're the one that actually needs to get out of the toxic relationship because the other person's toxic. It could be you. So I pray before we get started that this blesses you and that this helps you out. All right. So now that you know who Samson was and you know that he had this superhuman strength that came from his hair, you also understand how much of a warrior he was. My man killed 1,000 people with a jawbone. Like it was nothing for him to just go clean the streets up real fast by himself, dolo. All right, so this is who he was. But there was one lady. There was 1,000 men he could kill with a jawbone. But it was one woman, Oh, Delilah. And her name was Delilah. Oh, Delilah. That was just my man's weak point, man. So let's talk about Delilah, man. All right. So again, Judges 16:4. So sometime later, Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah, who lived in the valley of Sorek. The rulers of the Philistines went to her and said, entice Samson to tell you what makes him so strong and how he can be overpowered and tied up securely. Then each of us will give you 1,100 pieces of silver. So real quick, Samson was a real issue. Like Samson was such an issue. They was trying to get him off the block fast. Get him out of here. He is a problem. Like this man, it's you ever seen like on Instagram or social media where you might see somebody that was locked up and people be like, free my dog, free my dog. And then we found out what he did. And in the comments, they be like, no, keep him. Don't let him out. Like Samson was one of them. Like if he's outside, he's too much. It don't matter. I just told you he killed a rack, 1,000 people off a jawbone. No weapon, but a jawbone. Like he was like that. So at this point, they're trying to get him off the streets. All right. So back to the scripts. So Delilah said to Samson, please tell me what makes you strong and what it would take to tie you up securely. She asked this man, first of all, this is a weird question. Please tell me what makes you so strong. That's cool. Regular question. And what it would take to tie you up securely? But anyway, Samson replied, if I were tied up with 7 new bowstrings that have not yet been dried, I would become as weak as anyone else. Gave her the plot. So the Philistine rulers brought Delilah 7 new bowstrings, and she tied Samson up with them. She had hidden some men in one of the inner rooms of her house, and she cried out, Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you. But Samson snapped the bowstrings as a piece of a string snaps when it is burned by a fire, like it was nothing. He got out of there. So the secret of his strength was not discovered. All right, now let's stop right there. Off this one instance, they just had a conversation right before this happened. She asked him, Samson, where does your strength come from? What makes you so powerful? He told her, all right, but he also let her know this is probably what can contain me. I'm giving you the plot right now. This is what can contain me. Not too long after that, it doesn't say, but let's just imagine it was like a few hours later. All of a sudden, the same thing that he just said, the whole play he just gave her on how he could be contained, he's all of a sudden in that same exact trap. Detail by detail. Bowstrings that haven't been dried yet. Back to the scripts. Afterward, Delilah said to him, you've been making fun of me and telling me lies. Now, please tell me how you can be tied up securely. So she asked him like, no, for real. How can you be, how can it really work this time? Because last night you was wilding, bro. You broke out of the same trap you told me that would trap you broke out of it. So she like, for real. So Samson replied, if I were tied up with brand new ropes that had never been used, I would become as weak as anyone else. So what Delilah do? So Delilah took new ropes and tied him up with them. The men were hiding in the inner room as before. And again, Delilah cried out, Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you. But again, Samson snapped the ropes from his arms as if they were thread. Sorry. He snapped the ropes from his arms as if they were thread. These are ropes. He snapped them as if they were thread. All right, y'all. Delilah got to be setting me up. That's what you thinking, right? Let's all think like we Samson right now. What are you doing? What are you doing the second time? The first time, okay, what do you say? Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. It's shame on me. Come on, Samson, bro. Y'all know how hot I be reading this scripture right here? Like, it makes me feel a way. It's like watching your homie drown. But I'm going to get back to the scriptures, but this is what I was talking about in the beginning. How many of us got homeboys and homegirls in our circle that we often counsel just regularly, relationally? You know, they might bring their problems to us, and you hear their stories and you hear their struggles, and you see where the traps are coming from. You see how this is truthfully not serving them. Like, it's pretty clear that, like, this person is not for you. They don't want the best for you. Like, and when you tell them that, you tell them, and he's like, hey, this is obvious to me that this is what's happening, but for them, it's just not the case. And so they go back and they wonder why the same thing happens. For Samson right now, there's no way that you don't believe that I'm going to continue to read this and he's going to do it again. You don't think he's going to stay with Delilah, right? There's no way you think that's going to happen. All right, let's get back to it. Then Delilah said, you've been making fun of me and telling me lies. Now tell me, how can you be tied up securely? This is the third time she asked that. Samson replied, if you were to weave the 7 braids of my hair into the fabric on your loom and tighten it with the loom shuttle, I would become as weak as anyone else. I'm at least going to sleep with one eye open tonight. There's no way I'm sleeping peacefully this time. Nah, but no. So while he slept like a baby, Delilah wove the 7 braids of his hair into the fabric. Then she tightened it with the loom shuttle. Again, she cried out with the same tone, Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you. But Samson woke up, pulled back the loom shuttle, and yanked his hair away from the loom and the fabric. This is getting me upset. So then Delilah pouted, how can you tell me I love you when you don't share your secrets with me? You've made fun of me 3 times now, and you still haven't told me what makes you so strong. She tormented him with her nagging day after day until he was sick to death of it. She nagged him until he was just sick of it. Finally, Samson shared his secret with her. My hair has never been cut, he confessed, for I was dedicated to God as a Nazirite from birth. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as anyone else. So y'all, he finally broke. He told her the absolute truth. He told her his deepest secret that only him and God really knew. He gave her the play for real this time. So Delilah realized he had finally told her the truth. So she sent for the Philistine rulers. Come back one more time, she said, for he has finally told me his secret. So the Philistine rulers returned with the money in their hands. Delilah lulled Samson to sleep with his head in her lap. And then she called in a man to shave off the 7 locks of his hair. In this way, she began to bring him down, and his strength left him. Then she cried out, Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you. When he woke up, he thought, I will do as before and shake myself free. But he didn't realize the Lord had left him. So the Philistines captured him and gouged out his eyes. They took him to Gaza, where he was bound with bronze chains and forced to grind grain in the prison. But before long, his hair began to grow back. Now, just know that when God ordains something for you, okay, and when God blesses you with something, it's a God-given purpose. There's nobody, not a Delilah. I ain't gonna start naming wild names. I ain't about to DMX it, but not a single Delilah. Okay, not a homeboy, not a boss, not a op. Nobody can stop it. So just know that he still was able to serve his purpose and God restored him. But the point I'm making isn't about that. That is beautiful. Thank you, Jesus. The point I'm making is there's no way it should take 5 times where somebody is clearly trying to hurt you. Yes, it never got to the point where the Philistines popped out and they captured him. They gouged out his eyes. They never got to actually finish it off the first few times. They didn't, because he snapped the ropes. He snapped the bowstrings. Like he got out of it. So he never got to see where it was going. But don't be purposefully naive. Don't put blinders on your own eyes because you love a person or because you think you need a person or because your flesh is fed and they make you feel good. Like, y'all, it will only feel good for a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before what you're blinding yourself from, before it becomes detrimental to your life for real. Like, yeah, we go to the highest level of imagery so that we can kind of really show you what things look like. And yes, it may not be comparable. In this instance, they was trying to set him up for death. But in your instance, death can equate to losing your family, right? Your family, you cutting your family off for somebody you love because they trying to fight for you, knowing that this person you with is changing you, not for the better. I don't agree with family and friends that try to invade your privacy of your relationship when your relationship is well and healthy. No, but when it's apparent to everybody, take counsel, take heed to it. Your mama's not always jealous. Your homegirl is not always jealous. Sometimes they're right. And so if it's as clear as you're telling somebody how you can be hurt and they purposefully hurt you with the information you use, y'all, it's time to go. It's time to walk away from that person. All right. And if you're that person that's doing that to somebody, you dead wrong. And you need to do some soul searching as well, too. So to all my brothers and sisters out there dealing with a toxic relationship, dealing with the writing on the wall and they see it clear as day, man, take it for what it is. Don't change it. Don't adjust it to fit your happiness. Do the hard thing and walk away. All right. And that's with love. Always. All right. So as always, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, share, comment, and we'll catch you next week. Love y'all. Have a good one.
Get HWL, get your dough back. Get HWL, get your dough back. Ain't selling no mid, it's a whole pack. And young ain't I give you the whole pack.